On July 23rd, 2016, we were going to take some guests for a tour around the marina.
We were out maybe 15 minutes or so, and we started experiencing a problem with one of the engines. As we were heading back, the other engine started cutting out.
Looked, and there was water coming in.
Coast Guard Station Erie.
Station Erie received a phone call of a vessel in distress in Presque Isle Bay, taken on water.
Coast Guard Station Erie, Coast Guard 45757. We are underway, 05 BOB.
Made it on scene within about 6 minutes.
We saw a boat that was starting to take on water.
We immediately put a dewatering pump over on board.
There was a lot of water coming on board.
They were pumping 250 gallons a minute, and the water was still rising.
Things took a turn for the worse pretty quick.
The stern started to sink. The boat went under. Everybody went into the water. A lady panicked.
The next to last occupant in the cabin froze at the doorway, and Officer Kendall and I were pulling at her, trying to get her out. And just as water came over the back of the boat, she released, but the rushing water coming in knocked my wife back into the cabin.
There was no escape. The aft door went underwater, so she was trapped in the water.
I tried to get out, I couldn't. I became trapped inside the cabin.
And then Officer Kendall dove over top of me with somewhat cat-like reflexes.
I found a small window on the starboard side of the cabin, and I immediately tried to climb up on the remaining portion of the vessel that was above the water line.
Things were floating, the water was, rising, and at that time I heard a voice outside in the water saying, "Go to the window." So I floated over to the window, stuck my arm and shoulder out.
I remember reaching into the window, trying to get a hold of the survivor, in which I was able to make contact, and bracing against the side of the vessel, I was able to pull her up.
The boat had started to tilt a little bit as it was becoming filled with water. So it was tilted, and he was able to pull me out.
We both fell back into the water as the vessel did go completely under, and I made the swim back to the Coast Guard 45757 with her.
From the moment they pulled up until they had everybody off the boat, it had actually sank in 5 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you. Thank you
drier
so,
today,
so
huh?
much. I can't express my gratitude to you.
You're welcome. How are
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You guys did a great job that day.
I appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
I just thank them so much for their quick actions, for their service to our country, and saving my wife.
And you were the man that pulled, right? Pulled me out. Will you get an extra special hug?
I remember I hurt your shoulders a little bit getting you out, right? But it's all right.
Yeah.
It's
Then
worth
he
a little.
asked me, I'm sorry that I had to pull you so hard. That's what he said to me. Actually, after I got out into the water, I'm sorry. I was like, you could have broke my arm for all I care. I thank God every day for him and for all of the Coast Guard in the job that they do. I owe him my life. I can never repay what he did.